Go ahead and get started. I think I hear us.
Here?
Just about. I was going to say, hang tight. We're coming. All right, so we're hot back.
All right.
Where did we drop off at?
I don't know.
The very beginning.
Welcome.
So like
we were
my
just
big,
here.
the whole
just here.
shtick about like we were just here.
No, we
all
really are
that
just
stuff.
here.
So we're glad that you all are back with us though, because it is awesome and exciting. We've got an incredible lineup for tonight. Matt, when you get a chance, would love to see the coming up graphic. Coming up, the rally never ends, y'all.
Always.
Never.
Event to event to event to event.
Congratulations to last week's winner, Walter Charles.
Yep.
I think we have a.
And
Well,
this
we'll
weekend,
come to him later. I
Yeah,
got a
and this
picture,
weekend's
sorry.
winner, Olivia and Jamina Brutus as well from Super Saturday.
Yes, super excited. That 105,
That was big.
right? SNSD Preet Singh from New York, correct?
Yep.
Yeah,
First
super excited.
$1 million earner in New York.
Really?
Yep.
Really, really good then. She's awesome too, incredible speaker. Loved her when she came to Winston-Salem. I have dug around until I've discovered two people, only two so far, with the secret for double-digit recruiting. So we've got them on, and they're going to share what that secret is. And RVPs, Peggy and Jaron King.
Yeah.
I almost said it. I thought you were SVPs. Sorry.
It's on here as SVPs.
Sorry. RVPs, soon to be SVPs, Peggy and Jaron King. All right, you guys, let's get rolling. Social media. This is how we play the game.
Oh yeah, we had tons.
We've got some social graphics.
Tons
the
of
wall.
activity
Excellent.
on Saturday.
Great.
So I mean, this just keeps going and going and going.
Y'all get a chance. It's actually at getbiggergohome.com under the media wall, or it's a tab
Social
up
wall, I
top.
think.
Social wall.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, we had a lot of little gimmicks that we ran. Like, first thing I'm going to do when we get back together is blah, blah, blah. Somebody says they're going to get promoted to RVP, watch their replacement go RVP, and bring a bus of people. So that's awesome. And
This person says the first thing I'm going to do when we get back is high five all the winners. They should be high fiving.
maybe socially,
Social distancing.
social
with your
distance high
mask
five.
on. Bumping.
Elbowing. Mid-height elbowing.
Okay. We'll have to give that thing a name. All right.
Chicken wings.
You will find us on YouTube, Get Bigger Go Home / or youtube.com Get Bigger Go Home, Facebook at Let's Get Bigger Go Home, Instagram, is it at also?
It is
at
at.
SNSD Factory. Oh, we're back. I'm missing the audience. That was just like a little tease there. And then Twitter, which
Yep.
we do some Twitter.
At SNSD Factory, yeah.
We do some Twitter. So we had one of the things we did for an hour or so on Saturday was ask what y'all's favorite quotes were. So you can go ahead and start putting those out
Yep.
again, because it was great. I think what we'll do is we'll build a whole place for them on the page.
Yeah.
Why not? Around the website. So our personal favorites, a recruit is not a recruit until they get a recruit. What kind of person does it take to build Primerica? It takes the kind of person who will do whatever it takes. Get more people.
Yeah, you
Our
need more
personal
people.
favorite. You need more people. Get more people. It's the answer to all of your problems. Wake up
Get up, dress up, show up.
and never underestimate the power of consistency. So you guys start loading
Hold on,
those
this
up
one,
again.
This one, the only time success comes before
Right,
work is in
right.
the dictionary.
Right. That is good. So,
Got that one out.
huh?
So, I'm just not on my A game right now. Verbally.
Okay, rally. Let's start the game. You can begin texting RVPs. RVPs can text 404-465-1830. It's our telethon moment. You can text RVP, your last name, and the number of people that you have engaged.
Watching.
Oh, they don't have to be engaged, just watching. All right. Engaged and or watching.
mean,
So
I
reach out to your team, do a count, start
Yep.
putting the numbers in. You can continue to text that number with your RVP list and update it all the time. You got about an hour,
Yep.
right?
It's RVPs only right now.
RVPs only, and you got to be accurate. This is not just like pick a
Yeah.
number. right?
We reserve the right to put you in the penalty box for a couple weeks if you're like,
Exactly. Don't be, I've got
inflating some
500 and we get 12.
Yeah.
That won't be fun for you or us, right? So last week's winner, though, for the second time, I believe, Walter Charles. So we're super excited about him. And he was in the running for the rally on Super Saturday,
because I mean,
too.
I think he had almost, what do you have, like 60 or 70
What do you
on
have,
Tuesday?
Trish? Do you remember?
Hold on.
Oh, just ballpark.
I don't have a clue.
What do you win if you win the rally? You win, not a Get Big Home or Go Home Cup. You still win the factory,
The
SNSD
SNSD
factory. Sorry. You win the cup, that cup, right? We just didn't have any more tonight, but they're coming in. They'll be here sometime this
And-
week.
Walter had
And
45.
he had 45.
Walter had 45.
Yep.
And 10 minutes with the man himself on a Zoom call immediately following the show, the Tuesday show.
Yep.
So one more time at the graphic, Matt. Write down the text number, 404-465-1830, RVP, last name, and the number of people that you have watching, RVPs only. All right, next page.
Yeah.
Are we done?
It's time. We're done.
It's time. You get to introduce him.
All right. Now it's time for the man you're here to watch, not us, Andy Young.
I'll lower pretty.
Oh, that's me. Right. Okay. It's game on, girls and boys, and time to get moving at Primerica. It's June, and we're over halfway through the month. We had an amazing Super Saturday. Super Saturday was off the charts, and I've been listening to people around the country. They're going to do the Zoom this and Zoom that. Yeah, we're all doing Zoom. I got all that. But what an amazing show. We had, obviously, Keith Otto, Chess Britt was on. I think that's a first. I mean, what a great, amazing legend he was at the A.L. Williams and Primerica stories. You have, Sam Shepard tore it up. Peggy Hightower flying in on a jet with her team. GLI lit it up. You had the Darren and Walter Charles show. We had Sean T. Walker, Mary Hayes lit it up. We had somebody, Belda Rubio, amazing story, kicking butt. And our Super Saturday, I can tell you, just the different speakers we had, the intensity here. We're putting something together in the next few weeks that's going to, it's going to blow that off the charts. I'm telling you what, we're planning here about keeping this thing moving, because what's happened is the moving sidewalk is about to stop. I mean, you're going to Zoom. I'm telling you, there's going to be Zoom fatigue, like there's quarantine fatigue. There's going to be people ready to get going. And it's time for you to get between your ears, ready to play the game and be in the game. You got to be on your game when you're in the game. Nobody wants to follow adult disillusion, frustrated, dadgum, crybaby. You got to figure out how to be the loudest voice in any arena you're in. I don't care if it's on Zoom. I don't care. Well, you ain't got no quality studio. I feel like Art now. You ain't got no quality studio like we got here with Night Class. But I mean, there's a lot of people trying to do little knockoff stuff. We're going to continue doing some of this stuff, and it's going to be huge. And down the road, as we continue using this as a tool. But the face-to-face, kneecap to kneecap, the way we've done Primerica, A.L. Williams since the inception, I guarantee you that's going to be totally in play. And you better get your head right, because just like I said about 12 weeks ago, hey, you better don't be a punk. You better embrace this crap. Yeah, we don't like Zoom. Zoom's what an airplane or a car. John Addison trashed me on this program here. We did the Winston-Salem meet. Zoom, Andy Young thought that's a Zoom. That's what an airplane did. So, well, we figured that crap out. And now it's time to make sure we've got all the bases covered, and that starts between your ears. You better be ready to go, dress fed, ready to play the game, turn over every stone, and move people. But you better move first. Get out of your, as Bobby Buisson, I would never talk like this, get out your ass prints. That chair that looks like your rear end sat in it all day, it's time to get moving right now, and don't leave anything for chance. Chance will eat your lunch if you leave anything to chance. I'm so excited about our next speaker. I hate it because we were down at, I believe it was Nassau in the Bahamas, or DR, maybe it was DR, I don't know. One of these wonderful beaches and places that the company always sends most of us. And I know a lot of you have appointments and you can't make these trips, but I'm counting on you. I'm pulling for you to make sure you don't miss any more. But I've watched Gurpreet and Raj. Raj is a stud. I love riding around with Raj. One time, Raj, we went to a lunch. He took me all the way back to Manhattan. I mean, Raj is one of the greatest guys in the world. And it's so funny watching Raj and Gurpreet back and forth at a meeting. And if you haven't had Raj speak at your meetings, you better get him on there. I mean, it's just a different insight. It's a beautiful thing for a lot of people with a lot of questions. They're wondering about the opportunity, what it means for them. They're just a great couple. Love being around them. But Gurpreet's a person that's so intense. And what we're going to start with here is her telling her story a little bit. We're going to take a quick break to show just a quick video, and then we'll come back with some Q&A. But to have her tell her story, she wasn't like, some walked in the door and boom, pull out, can of whoop ass, and there she was, NSD. I mean, I know today in some of the things in Primerica you see, it's like just overnight success. Where'd they come from? Well, she struggled and talked about struggling. And then she was able to go out there and sell and made a lot of money and saved a lot of money. An unbelievable Primerica example for her and her family. And as she did that, she continued to grow, but it was a difficult one. You're growing by addition, not multiplication, totally different thing. And then so it was down at DR, or one of those places, where she said, what we're going to do is we're going to be in a recruiting business. So I had to go out there and grill her on, are you really a recruiter? So I had to interrogate her. And I found out she's totally recruited. But really, you could talk all the crap you want, because a lot of us do that. We've done that in our careers. You've done that. Some of you listen to me right now. And we're talking about double-digit recruiting being a theme tonight. Some of you out there, I just want to get one recruit, double-digit a whole year or something. I mean, well, I know there's a lot of people that started that way. Well, Gurpreet's one of those people. She struggled with when she nailed it. I mean, you could talk all you want, but they flat done the numbers and blew through $1 million a year in income. So proud of them, so proud to be in business. We always love listening to her and Raj when they speak. So we're going to welcome Gurpreet. There you are.
I'm here. Wow, hey, Andy, how you doing?
Great. Look at all that pink. You look so lovely tonight. I mean, I don't. Are you tough enough to be in the battle? Look at that. I don't know. I think you're in disguise. You got people that are going to underestimate you by looking at all that pink there, and then you're going to chop them off at the legs. I know that's what's going to happen because you're a warrior. Yep. How you doing? How you guys doing?
Everything is wonderful right now. We're just, again, we're Zooming, but we're out there kneecap to kneecap already with our masks on. We had appointments on Saturday. We recruited people face to face. So I'm excited about the 2 phases of the business and where people are headed. And we're right now, people on our team are excited about building $1 million hierarchies, because it's great to be a $1 million hierarchy, but when you build some $1 million earners is when the game begins.
Yeah, absolutely. So what you got for us? Tell us a little about your story.
Okay. Right. Well, when I joined the business, my dad forced me to look at the business. And when he kept forcing me, I went to the meeting, and I saw the meeting with 3 people. And it was in someone's basement. And then the rule of 72 blew me away, right? Because I looked at that and I said, wait a minute, I went to college, I have a degree, I paid $40,000 for it, and nobody told me the rule of 72. So I got interested in the rule of 72, because I said, if that's what rich people do, and I'm going to be rich, then I need to know this information. And then, the person came to my house and implemented my life insurance and my, $25 investment at that time. And they're like, well, are you ready to do the business? I said, do the business? What are you talking about? I just want the rule of 72. And he said, well, no, this is a good opportunity. You could do this. My dad told me I could do this. So my dad paid for me. Long story short, I tried to fail the exam, but I couldn't. I passed anyway. And here I am in the business. And the first 2 years were a little bit of I wouldn't say a struggle, but it was a struggle with my mindset. Because if you're a poverty thinking person, right, then you have to shift to, can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me?
What? Yeah, yes, we can hear you. Keep going. You're doing great.
Yeah, so I had to shift my mindset, because I was working hard, but I was missing the smart. Okay, and that's where Raj comes in. When I joined the business, I was single, and I was just doing this business. First 2 years, I was at 0 by 0. I had no recruits. I had nothing, but I always showed up to the training. I always went to the big events. I went to the convention. I remember the first time I went to the convention, I wrote my speech. I said, one day I'm going to make history in this company, and it's just going to be a matter of time. And I remember writing that speech, and the first time I ever spoke in, the the convention center and all these places, I remember having that speech with me. So everything is possible if your mind believes it's possible, right? And I think that if you focus on yourself, you will grow people. But a lot of people, I think the mistake is like, what's wrong with that person? What's wrong with that person? Nothing is wrong with anybody. When they make that decision, it's going to happen for them. And I always let people know when they join our team that they're going to have their own journey. Don't compare it to my journey. I expect it to be faster than my journey. When people come in the business for first week and they recruit 10 people, I say, you were way ahead of me. So I was really slow. You're really fast. So you should be getting there faster than we did. And I really remind them that the opportunity is 20 times better than when we joined, right? As great as the opportunity was, the greatest days are yet to come. And I remember what Shane Rudman said. He said the best people that are going to be recruited in Primerica haven't even been recruited yet, right? So I always remember that. And every time I recruit somebody, I say, oh my God, what if it's that person? I just want my code number to be on top of their code number, right? So we have so many superstars in our business right now, and we're just so grateful, because if you complain, you're going to be broke. If you're grateful, you're going to be rich. That's what we tell our team all the time, because some people, they're complaining. Meanwhile, they're poor, broke. But if you're grateful for where you are, I love my journey. Thank God I took 2 years to talk to my first person, because I wouldn't be mentally ready to handle these people. They would have came to my team and they would have been blown away. But thank God we grew our mind first, and then the people came. Because a lot of people, they're praying, you know, God, I'm praying for money. I'm not praying for money. I never pray for money. I pray, God, send me the people. I'm willing to do the work with them, because I've been down that journey before. So I don't expect the free money. Of course, overrides is good, but I want to work for my overrides, because the greatest days are yet to come. So I don't know, Andy, if that answers your question. I do have a slide, so I don't know if you want me to cover that after, or you want me to cover that right now.
We'll cover that. We'll cover that after. And you know, the thing about, just a question on that. So you said took you 2 years to get moving to talk to your first people, right?
Yes.
And then the fear, because Mark Marchesani talked about, we had him on the program, and he was talking about worried about bothering people. And he says, I'm so glad somebody bothered me, you know, and we had other people as they've come on here talking about, Maureen Powers talked about, he got the call, you know, for the NFL draft. And when they called him from the Denver Broncos, he instantly, right there with one call, became a millionaire. And people are waiting on our call. You probably heard him talk about it. They're waiting on our call. We're worried about people bothering him and stuff. And you know, we got in the studio tonight. He's not going to be on screen tonight, but Angelo Caballero, who wrote his uncle up for $250,000 worth of insurance, didn't think anything was going to happen to a 35-year-old, and now he's a superhero of the family because something did happen. So talk just a little bit about the, you know, get that crap out of your head, get your part down, and go talk to the people, and don't be wimpy about it. I mean, what the people need, what we have.
Right. I love that, because what I had to do was I had to have a talk with myself, right? And the talk to myself was self. If you don't talk to the people, you're going to be 60 years old, 70 years old, you're going to be broke. Okay, so you've got to make that decision to take the rejection now or take it later, right? You got to talk to these people or to be denied for the rest of your life. So that talk with myself that night was just shut up and talk to the people. And I decided that I was going to forget about whether they wanted to buy, they wanted to get recruited, they wanted to do whatever they wanted to do. My job was to present well. I was going to be the best entertainer for the 20 minutes I was in front of them, where they were so intrigued by what I had to say, they wanted to know more. And that's what exactly happened. I was shocked when I started giving presentations. People started saying, yes, yes, yes. And I'm like, are you sure? They're like, we want some of this life insurance. I'm like, are you sure? oh, I want to join your business. And I'm like, well, I don't know if you want to join the business. It's a hard business, because remember, I didn't want to recruit anybody. I was like, no, you can just give me the referrals and I'll take care of your friends and family. I'm not really looking for people right now to join my team, because guess what? I was the person that didn't like people, right? So I got past that stage. So to me, my mind was like, just present, give a great presentation, answer their questions. And exactly what I imagined in my mind happened. They kept saying yes and yes and yes. And I then talked to myself was, wait a minute, this is working. And that's where I really got serious in the business. And then the rest is history.
Yeah, so the voices you were talking to when you said just shut up and talk to the people, those are the voices in your head, right? Those are all your people talking to you in your head.
Right. I was actually in front of the mirror talking to myself, because I didn't want to talk to anybody outside. So I figured I'll talk to myself and have a conversation. So I was actually not even talking in my head. I was talking out loud to myself.
That's great. And then shut up and just go to work. I love it. So we're going to do a 3-minute quick video, and I'm going to come back and ask you some questions. Is that all right?
Okay.
All right, we'll be right back. Let's take a look at the video.
Never miss a meeting, even if there's a hurricane.
Y'all want more? We decided we want more! Yeah! It's gonna be a great school, everybody.
Kick it! You want more, you gotta ask for more!
This is for the studs. This ain't for the GP, the general population.
What you need to hear, what you need to know to build your business big.
And I want you to know it doesn't get better than what you've got.
This is the place, this is the time, and you're the one.
You have to decide. You literally have to kill all other options, because this is so worth it.
I think, am I looking here?
No, you're over.
I'm good. Okay, I'm here. All right. So there we are. So you talked to Raj. Raj asked you, said, "Well, so you got a business you can own. It's generational wealth. What are you going to do? Give the family, give our daughter like a big box of files, file cabinets? What are we going to do?" So what was the conscious decision you made then to go build a business, build a hierarchy? And man, when you made that decision, it's like game on. You're like unbelievable how you got that thing going. But talk about that thought process.
Well, we realized that we were making about $300,000 with our own pen year after year. So this is consistently. So for those people out there that said, "Oh, I can't make money if I don't have a team," that's a lie, right? So, but then we went to a training, or I think it was a trip, and Brad Gerard said something very crucial that changed our business. He said that when you go home, your team, you don't need a new team. Your team needs a new leader. Right. And we were like, oh, okay, that they're talking to us. Right. And we had this big meeting in our room when we went to the, this trip, and we decided, okay, we're going to shift. So when we went home, there was 2 people at the op meeting in our office. Right. And we said, listen, we're going to go recruit the world, and we're going to be the first $1 million hierarchy in the state of New York. So I drew out a map of how many people were in New York, and there was about 19.6 at that time, but now there's 19.8 million. So the 2 people in the room said, well, how are we going to do that? And I said, well, you don't figure out the how. What we're going to do is go on appointments. We're going to go on these appointments day in and day out, and then we are going to go to that journey. And out of those 2 people, one of the person that was sitting in that room, her name is Maria Terrero. She's an RVP. And through her process of coming into the business, we found Kamika John. And there were 10 direct RVPs that we built through replacement. So it was just time to turn it on. I said, listen, when I went to these conventions and trips and everything, and I saw these people that were recruiting big numbers and they were making big money, I said, listen, they're not that special. They just have a bigger team. So we decided to have that bigger team get to work on our hierarchy versus selling, because selling is just temporary and building a hierarchy is forever. So that was the transition.
Two people. So two people's just, you and one or two other people in the room and making a decision to go for it. And that's where most people are. And everybody starts in that situation. I remember in my risk taker video, they were talking about, I'm sitting there selling this vision, this dream. We're going to build 80 RVPs. I'm a regional leader. I see these little eyes looking at me, big eyes, but there's 2 or 3, 5 people in the room. But that's where the vision is critical. So talk about casting that vision and being number one in New York, because a lot of people kind of question that, thought, oh, there's other people who've already done it and this and that, and how can we do that? Are other people going to beat us? And talk about how you just with resolve said, no way, we're going to do it.
Right. Well, I like to break records and create history. I always told my team, either we're going to read about history or we're going to write history. And even though we were the underdog, because our hierarchy, Ed Rendell's hierarchy, is not the biggest hierarchy in New York, New Jersey. And I remember that I learned from other people. I learned from Bob Safford. I learned from Joe Enser that you don't have to be number one, but you need to build number ones, right? And I just stole everything from everybody and I applied it. So they even thought I was part of their hierarchy, because they were like, oh, so-and-so said that, so-and-so said that. I said, I know they said that because I mastered third-party referrals. I mastered things in the business. And that's where I want to show you the slide. So I don't know if I could show that right now.
Yep.
Okay, let me just get that done. 1 second. I think they have to able me to share it.
Oh, you have to make her co-host.
Okay.
Right, now she can.
All right, I'll do it now. See if it comes up.
Yeah, it should come up now.
There we
Okay,
go.
do you see that slide?
Yes.
Okay, I'm a person that likes visual, right? I'm a visual learner. And I came up with this slide because, this is a house. And when we have a house, we always think of makeovers and renovations, right? So this is the house that I believe is my Primerica house. And the foundation begins with self-development, right? You've got to read and you've got to listen. And it doesn't mean you have to, master hard things, but you've got to master yourself. And to me, that's what self-development is. So 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the afternoon, and 30 minutes in the evening is when I write out my vision, right? And I do my affirmations. I get excited. I mean, this is when I'm talking in my car. This might be weird to some people, but to me it works, right? You're basically able to read something and listen to YouTube videos, listen to different things from leaders, right? And then we've got to master the skills, right? The people skills, I had to change. Instead of thinking as people as a bother, I looked at them as powerful, right? And number 2 was like time management. Because if I don't manage my time, I can't max out my life. People will steal my dreams. They want me to talk about different stuff, nonsense. I don't have time for that. Number 3 is the sales business is not sales, it's education, right? And then number 4 is what? Leadership. Okay, in order to execute the plan, we have great leaders on our team. We have so many RVPs that are off the charts. I want to mention that it'll take me an hour to mention, but our Warriors International Network is so phenomenal. People from all walks of life, right? And then you've got to know the fundamentals. The number 1 thing is I mastered presentation. I was able to communicate with people who are the S personalities, stable, technical, action, and relationship, because those are the 4 types of people, right? Then, of course, recruit them, bring them on the team, sell them the vision. And then get referrals from everyone. It doesn't matter. You don't buy, you don't become a customer. It's okay. You've got to tell this information to other people. And then number 4 is I'm not a professional visitor. I don't work for free, right? I've got to close people, right? And when I close them is when I actually help them. Because before that, I was always saying, well, I want to help people. I want to help people. And then Roger used to say, well, you didn't help anybody because you didn't close, right? So it was very important for me to connect these things. And then the roof is the teamwork, all right? Just like I said, we have a phenomenal team. We have different types of people. We have people that are all walks of life, all different nationalities, personalities. So you as a leader should be able to work with them. So that was the foundation of that house. But I'm going to take this off the screen so I can see you. So I don't know if you have some questions based off of that, Andy.
That's great. I love the house. How critical is it to protect the space in your head between, I looked at the bottom there, the books, the people you hang out with, the books, and if you could just share kind of 4 or 5, maybe even 10 things, I don't know, that you've learned over the years where you don't get caught up in the noise. You don't, it's like between the media and social media, and everybody's got an opinion. I was joking with Preston Towns, who's the chief marketing director for all the stuff that comes out. He's in my base shop, and he's putting stuff together, and we were recruiting some people, and he brought like this much stuff, a foot long, and stuff of materials, and a lot of stuff that I hadn't really looked at or whatever. And I said, I got all that. But I said, the challenge is if you start getting all these different pieces and ideas, like a puzzle. You can have a 500-piece puzzle, a 200, 100, have a kid's puzzle. You can have a 1,000-piece puzzle, but if there's no picture, you're done. And so talk about the picture you've developed over the years, and some of the people, you mentioned some, but how they made a difference. Like Bob Safford talked about the threads of success and the fabric of life and the third party. If you could just maybe 4, 5, 6 examples of the things that, between what you've read and the people you've hung out with, that impacted you not to waste the space and waste other people's time and get on about building a business.
Right, and my coach Francis always says that building a hierarchy is building a vision with all the pieces, right? It depends how big you want to go. Everything starts at the mind. Everything is change your thoughts, change your life. So I believe that whatever I read, it changes my mindset, right? Because she said that recruiting is a mindset, building is a skill set, right? So we had to master both. And I love the word coachable, but a lot of people think coachable means, oh, you're going to follow it and do it the way I'm going to do it. No, coachable just means be coachable to the system. The Primerica system is way better than an individual. There's a lot of people, when I looked at all these people making money and they were at the top, and I was like, these people, what? It's not them, it's the system. So when I looked at them, I was like, listen, I can win here too. I've just got to follow the system. And the system means if I'm going to be a builder, right, like yourself, Andy, I'm going to have to hang out with people developing RVPs, promoting RVPs, building hierarchies, because if I'm going to hang out with the sellers, that's what I'm going to become. So we always constantly, Raj and I, we were constant growing our business with our mind, right? Always listening to stuff, but not internalizing it. Just because you're making $1 million doesn't make anybody better than you. It's you have a team in place. And when I saw some people that I thought were not that sharp, I was like, wow, it's the system is winning for them, right? Because, as great as our uplines are, like Ed Randall and everything, they didn't do it for us. We had to figure this out by trial and error. Right? As good as, Andy, we heard from Andy, we was mentored by him all the time, by Francis Savid, by Bill Whittle. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who your mentor is, it's what's in your head. If you're not keeping your head straight, I don't care who your upline is. My main thing that I learned in the business, your downlines are more important than your upline, because your upline might want to do it a little different. Your upline might not want to grow as high as you, but your downline, you're responsible to help them and walk them through the system, right? And we were like here in New York by ourselves, figuring it out, just learning here, learning there. I remember going to a training from Dennis Schechter, and he was breaking down these whole life policies. And I remember going on 30 or 40 confrontations when I was new in the business. And I was able to break all those policies down better than the agents that were in business for 20, 30 years. And I said, listen, I'm not leaving here first. You're going to leave because what we're doing is right. So I had to stand up for this. But if I didn't know all this, I wouldn't be able to do that with the team, with Raj and myself. So that hopefully that answers your question.
Yep, absolutely. And then the thing about the vision and having that solid vision, you got to be the loudest voice in your people's ears. You're the one leading them. I mean, it's the up line and cross line, and all those things are great, but it's sort of like your house. I mean, you're the mom, you're the dad, you run that household. Somebody said one time it takes a village to raise a child. Well, every village has an idiot, maybe more than one idiot. And so you better raise your own kids. I don't care if the Johnson kids get to stay out till 1 in the morning. They've got to hear that. So that's important, what you said. So casting the vision, and I have a great quote. One of our great RVPs, Laura Langston, has it. You know, discipline is remembering what you want. And once you've cast that vision, talk about having to do the work and have a schedule and handling your time management and not making excuses.
Yeah, they always taught us in the business early on, you can make money or make excuses. You can't make both, right? And I remember when we were new RVPs and we had our own office and Raj was working on his job and he was going to work in the morning, coming to the office at 6 o'clock so I can leave the office, go in the field. We were making like $200,000-300,000 before we bought a second car, right? We had one car. We were focused on building wealth, right? We were working what we needed to work. I remember we were the only parents that woke up our child because Raj didn't see our son when he was little because he was at work. And after we went to the appointments, it was 11, 12 o'clock at night. And when the baby was sleeping, we used to wake the baby up and say, play with daddy at 12 o'clock at night. You know, so when people say pay the price, you know what? Americans have it screwed up. They're not paying the price. Paying the price is when you have your kids, you know, thousands of miles away and you can't afford to bring them here in this country, right? You know, paying the price is when people pay millions of dollars to come to America so they have the land of opportunity, because I'm an immigrant child. You know, my father came here and I came here when I was 3 years old. So when people say pay the price, I laugh at them because I said, that's why the immigrants are going to kick your butt, because you're not willing to fight the fight. See, we're building a strong America because we're building wealth for our family, right? That's where it starts. So I believe that everybody on this call has an obligation to build wealth for their family. Right? That whether they're from America or they came to America, it doesn't matter because there were obstacles, right? Language was an obstacle. I didn't speak English till I was 6 years old because my parents were, listen, you never forget where you come from. So here I was going to school. I didn't even understand anything, but I knew that I had to win, right? And that's the feeling I want the Primericans to have, that we're working so hard not only on Zoom, but working on our dreams, that we are going to help this country become a better country.
That is so powerful. That's the Gupri. That's so badass. And I know didn't mean to use that kind of language, but you are a badass. I'm so proud to be your teammate. Thank you for sharing with our team tonight. And just keep running. We're going to watch your smoke. I know you're going to get those direct RVPs out, and people are going to. They ain't done hearing from you. I know that. So tell Raj we said hello. Thank you so much for being on.
Yes, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks. Have a great one.
Oh.
All right. That's absolutely amazing. Just staying focused, going out there, remembering what you're fighting for. I love the idea that, you know, hey, freedom ain't free necessarily. I mean, you got to go out there and fight for it. And quit making excuses and go get the job done, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
Yes,
All right.
Totally.
So good. I think we got some recognition coming up.
I think that we're going to do a couple things over here.
All right.
All right, you guys. Back to we're looking at North Carolina, Georgia's in the house, Maryland, Alabama, Missouri, New York, Indiana, South Carolina. Who else do you think is out there? Looking at the YouTube. Wow, there's a ton of us listening, watching. We're so glad that you're all here. You're all plugged in. Oh, would you please, underneath the video on YouTube, not the expanded version, but when you're looking at it on the YouTube channel, do the thumbs up. Click on the thumbs up. It helps us, correct?
Thumbs up.
Not that one.
How about
Not
you
that
two?
thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Two thumbs up.
You know, the
Best.
click one. The click one, where you click on the thumbs up. We're getting there. We just brought on 8, but there's a whole bunch of, there's one. We're almost there. Keep looking. Click. One more.
Well, now it's
there
jumping
we
up.
go.
All right.
Catching up now. All right, back to the wall. Still looking at some of the stuff on the social wall. Some great quotes.
Yeah, I mean,
Memphis,
we have
Tennessee.
massive amount of turnout on the social wall for the Super Saturday. If you weren't on Super Saturday, you missed it. Make sure that you join the mailing list on getbiggergohome.com so that you can make sure you get a part of all those big events that we do. But yeah, it's amazing. If you want to get on this social wall, I mean, you actually, if you go to getbiggergohome.com right now, you can actually look at the same social wall that we're showing if you just go to the social wall tab. And your stuff can appear there if you use our hashtag on Instagram or Twitter, or you mention us on Facebook like you see on the screen, or you can text us to communicate with us as well. But emails, YouTube comments, private messages on Instagram, Facebook, stories, all that stuff's not going to show up, and the posts have to be public for us to pull them in on the wall. So that's how all that stuff works. And yeah, I loved we added to the quotes, right? We were pulling all the quotes when Gurpreet said, you know, if you complain, you're going to be broke. If you're grateful, you're going to be wealthy. I love that.
That was a great reminder, right? So let's look at the other one I highlighted here. You've got what it takes. It's going to take all you've got, though, right?
Yep.
And be worth it. So,
Andy always says he wants to see the lint coming out of your pockets.
Giving it all up.
Everything. Going
Giving it
all in.
up. Yep.
All in.
Looking at Florida, Toronto, Canada, our friends from Canada, Illinois, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Tennessee. That's so awesome. Trish.
Yes.
Can we get a rally update?
You sure can.
All right, you guys, this is just an update. We're still counting RVP teams.
Just want to let you know that everybody who has reported in has reported double digits.
Yay.
Okay.
Everybody's done double-digit reporting.
Everybody's done double digits. I'll give you the top 8.
Ooh, okay.
8. Well, that's good.
Top 8. All right.
Janine and Mike Martin, 27.
Janine and Mike Martin with 27.
Gigi McGinnis, 27.
Gigi McGinnis, 27, tied.
Tammy and Ron Lewis, 31.
Tammy and Ron Lewis, 31.
Miki Peel, 36.
Miki Peel, 36.
William Kofer's got 39.
William Kofer's got 39.
Yay.
Sean T. Walker, 44.
Sean T with 44.
Walter Charles, 55.
Walter Charles got 55.
And Wes and Shay Flournoy, 63.
Wes and Shay Flournoy was 63.
That's where we're standing right now.
All right, you heard
you've
him.
got 15 minutes.
Is that right?
Right? Rally, keep rallying,
Yeah, you
RVPs.
got about 15
you got 15 minutes. We're going to cut it off and start doing the verify, right? I'm going to do a quick shout out to Michigan, though, my home state. Just showed up on the list.
Awesome.
Glad you're here. What's next? Oh, I think we're going to a video.
Claudia's saying she wants the thumbs up under the video, not the thumbs up emoji in the comments.
Don't do the don't do that in the comments because that doesn't count. YouTube's looking for their little clicky under the thing, which we've done well.
Yeah.
We're on our way. So you guys keep clicking over there. That's super helpful. I think we're off to Art.
Yeah,
Let's see what Art's got to say about recruiting and a recruiting explosion. Matt?
Folks, you've got to have a concept, a philosophy on how you'll build your business. It's the same thing if you were a head football coach. Now, the first thing you've got to decide as a head football coach is how am I going to build my team? What system will I use? What I believe in? What's my philosophy? See, it can be a tough, hard-nosed, ball control, pound it out, make them respect the run like Nebraska. Or it can be high power, high scoring, high finesse, pass first, like Florida. So you've got to have a philosophy that you believe in. Then once you have a philosophy, then you recruit those kinds of players And you build your team with that kind of personality. Does that make sense? It's the same way in business. You've got to have a concept. You've got to have a philosophy. Now let's say it's recruiting. Then recruiting must become an all-the-time thing. You've got to develop a recruiting mindset. It's not something you can turn off and turn on. Recruiting must become an all-the-time thing. Now once you've decided that your belief is recruiting, that's the way I'm going to build my business, okay? Then folks, everything in your business has to be geared to recruiting. The compensation program, the way you're going to pay people in your company, always has to be geared towards recruiters making the most money. Promotions, if somebody's going to get a promotion in your company, there's always got to be recruiting requirements to get a promotion. Every meeting you have, if you're going to do recognition where you're going to talk about the heroes in your business, you've got to talk about those that do the most recruiting. Every time you send a report out to your people, you've got to talk about recruiting. Does that make sense? Recruiting has got to become an all-the-time thing. And folks, this never changes. It never changes when times are good, and it never changes when times are bad. When the going gets tough, when sales are down, when income's down, when your business has stopped growing, you can never change your basic philosophy and your basic concept of recruiting first. It's just like in football. If Nebraska goes out there and wins 4 games and they play Colorado and Colorado beats them, then all of a sudden they don't change their run first, pound it out philosophy Monday and go to a pro set passing concept, right? I mean, you got to come back and suck it up, and you got to just get better at what you believe in. Listen to this unwritten law. Recruiting must be the answer to your every problem. Let me give you an example. Let's say sales are down. If sales are down, folks, you don't stop recruiting and go into sales. That'll kill you. Recruiting's got to be the answer to your every problem. So let's say if I've got a recruiting first concept, which I had at A.O. Williams, and sales are down, let me give you another unwritten law. You're always one recruit away from an explosion. See, if you want to make a lot of sales in a hurry, you make a lot of sales in a hurry easier and quicker by recruiting than you do selling. Let me give you an example. Let's say I go recruit somebody part-time. Well, number one, he's going to become a client, right? And let's say he has 10 friends, okay? I built my business on 10 friends. I'll talk about that to you later. Let's say he has 10 friends. Well, we ought to at least sell 7 or 8 of those 10 friends, those best friends, right? And we ought to recruit 5 of those people, right? So by going and recruiting one part-time person, I make a sale to him. Then if he's got 10 friends, then he and I are going to go to those friends and we're going to sell 7 or 8 of those people and recruit 5 of those. And if those 5 people have 10 friends, then we're going to go sell 30 to 35 of those and recruit 25. Does that make sense? So recruiting has to be the answer to your every problem. Let me give you another example. Let's say you recruit some person and he's not coming to meetings, or in my business, we were in a regulatory business where you had to have an insurance license and securities license, or let's say the guy was not studying and taking his test, okay? See, the answer is not to bring him into office and say, listen, Bill, now you get serious about this thing or I'm going to can your butt. That's not, people don't want no bosses, right? They hate bosses out there. See, the way you solve that problem is with recruiting. When you're out there field training your new recruit, let's say the new recruit has 10 friends, he calls and set up the appointments, you go with the new recruit to sell his friends, training him, right? Well, in addition to selling his friends, you're recruiting people also for him, right? You're helping that new recruit build a team. And when he gets licensed, you've got him a team so he can take those recruits and best friends and just continue the process. Does that make sense? And so let's say Bill, you've recruited 3 or 4 people for him, and Bill's sitting on his butt and he's not getting his license, okay? You call Bill on the phone, you say, Bill, old buddy, you know, it breaks my heart. Do you know you got 3 or 4 guys out there excited about this thing, they're making sales, and you ain't got a license, and I can't pay you any money. That's against the law. So all that money's got to come to me, and it's killing me, okay? I want you to get that money, but before you can get that money, you've got to Get licensed. Recruiting's got to be the answer to your every problem.
That's big. All right, that's unbelievable stuff. I tell you what, $20 a year, $1.99 a month if you can't afford the 20. But come on, Art Williams Best, and you get that every single week. I got my new video this morning. I mean, you talk about pumping your butt up. I mean, the old coach, there's nothing else like that for $20. Just, you got to be kidding me. Anyway, we got special guests tonight, Peggy and Jaron King. Just great folks. You know, when they came into business, see, this is the one thing you can't, like, you underestimate yourself and short sell the opportunity. They were making over $200,000 a year as a couple. She was working in a bank. Jaron, I mean, done all kinds of big concerts, I mean, his amazing worked at PFN TV for a while. I mean, he's standing with a studio board that's, bigger than me and just moving all these things and talking to me like nothing's going on while the bigger show's going on, crap like that. But I mean, they were doing great, and the bank was about to move to Nebraska, and it's like, I ain't moving to Nebraska. So I told them that, when they came in, that in 5 to 12 months, most of the time part-time, through 5 or 10 people and their referrals, 5 to 12 months while you're part-time, we can build you your own agency, become an RVP, basically like a broker in a regular business, and we could build that in 5 to 12 months while you're part-time. You just go through 5 or 10 people, we'll do the appointments. And I guarantee you, I went on over 100 appointments in the market because you got to drive that. And these folks, Jaron and Peggy represent 6 RVPs out of the 22 we built in the 7-year period. So they came in, and I drove deep, and Peggy was working these god-awful hours at the bank. They had a young baby at the time, all kinds going on. That's what you got to do, drive. I remember her coming in the office with Jaron, and they'd walk in, and I'd introduce them to people that were already under them. And all of a sudden, boom, they got an RVP in less than a year. And came in here, and this stuff goes on with Primerica. It takes a little, like, what did Guppreet say? It took 2 years to talk to somebody. I mean, it takes a minute for people to get moving. It took me a full year before I made a decision to go. I mean, there's various points. Christian David, 7 years later, decided to go to district or something, So it's like, everybody's not going to be an overnight wonder, but all of a sudden, man, they're on the verge right now of going over $300,000 full ownership any night coming up. They're going to go over $300,000 in cash flow. They're that far away from SVP. I know Darla, went ahead and put them down as SVP. And you guys can address that with her at the planning group meeting tomorrow morning. At planning group meeting, just go over there on the side, maybe when I do the break, and y'all can address that with Darla. But she's pulling for you. I mean, well, they're not SVP. What do you mean they're not SVP? I was like, we have a big argument here before we start the show. It's like, they're like that far away. But, man, they are on the verge of tearing it up. Their base shop is rocking this month already. They did 50 by 40,000 last month, getting ready to promote 2 new RVPs. So we're fired up about everything, and I know they're fired up. And some of the things that they're doing. Jaron and Peggy, they're not social distancing. Look at them right on top of each other. How y'all doing tonight?
Great. How are you, Andy?
Great. Jaron, you good?
I'm good, man. Excited.
Right. All mic'd up, ready. So what y'all got for us tonight?
Well, Andy, man, first of all, I want to thank you for the great coaching you've always given us and just being a great example, man. We're so excited about getting to the next level and becoming one of your next SVPs in your hierarchy. I was thinking the other day, I said, I want to know the number that we will be so we can put that on a jacket or something, just like they do the $1 million earners, the numbers, such and such. I want to know what SVP number we're going to be. And then, hey, going on to NSD and SNSD, actually, our focus has been on NSD, man. We're going to blow through SVP, and we're not going to stop. We're going to keep going on our way to SNSD because, man, that's what we came here for. So we're excited about that.
That is great. And how about you, Peggy?
I mean, the same. We're excited about building a hierarchy. Right now, we have a babyarchy. We've got 2 great RVPs, awesome Tammy and Ron Lewis. You guys heard their name. They're always great on the rally. So proud of them. $50,000 earners in the company. Candace and Jamal Richmond out of Bogalusa, Louisiana, of all places, $100,000 earners for the company. But like Guppreet said, it's not a babyarchy. We need a hierarchy that's going to pay us for forever. So that's what we're excited. Our upline told us that you come here to build a hierarchy, and that's what we want to do. That's what we're doing.
All right. So when you're doing that right now, I know you're doing some contests and things. How important is that, getting your folks out of town? And then you learn some things about it. Then you got to have the extra people you bring in. Just talk a little bit about the process of what you're doing and how you're doing it and some of the excitement that's coming out of your team now.
Yeah, Andy, you know, I'll never forget seeing what you did in Colorado when we first went out there to Keystone, Colorado. And you took a group of us out there and you showed us how great that place was. It was an amazing trip. I'd never forget it. Even, you know, the suites there was just unbelievable. Seeing that ski slope was amazing. That's why we're so excited about that. But I never forget how you showed us that. And you say, you know what, I'm gonna bring you guys here first. Us and a group of people, I can't remember the number of people were there. But you sold us on that and bringing people back there with us the next time. And and that's the same thing we've always believed in: investing back into your business. The best investment you can ever make is into your people. Investing back into your people. And so we've just always believed in that, man. And I can't tell you. Some of the things we just been doing lately is investing back into our people, making sure that, hey, the monies that we're making, we're putting it right back into our business to grow it to the next level, man. We've been running contests. We've been going to some incredible places, taking people with us and really just showing them, man, this is how life is supposed to be. You're supposed to live like this all the time. And this opportunity can give you that lifestyle all the time if you just go out there and pay the price and get to RVP, because that's where it started. And for me, it's like that old movie or that saying, hear no evil, see no evil, man. I'm telling you, I'm not even here right now. I can't tell you, I see nothing, I hear nothing. All we're solely focused on right now is producing more RVPs, because that is the purpose of a base shop. You've always taught us that. Man, when those numbers get up there, man, we're like, who can we promote next? Who can we promote next? Let's reload. Let's look for the next one, and let's just keep moving. But yeah, investing back into our business, and it's so fun when you're doing that. You investing back into the business, and I tell you, over the last 2 months, man, what would you say about 15,000 that we put right back into our business? Why? Because we believe in investing back into the business. Hey, I believe in working hard, and let's play hard as well. Let's show people, here's what you're fighting for. Here's what you're going out. Here's what you can have on a regular basis with this opportunity. And especially in this time right now, I mean, gosh, look at the numbers. You'll be crazy not to get, 10, 12, 15, 20, 30 more RVPs out of this thing. And everybody can do that.
Absolutely, and you got nothing on Peggy because your head got cut off on the Zoom, and like a technician, she went over there, man, she fixed you up, put you right back in the screen. I didn't know she had that kind of talent. We're gonna put her to work doing some stuff here in the studio. But Peggy, just talk about that, and maybe, I don't know, you went to Palm Beach or some of the trips you've been on, some of the favorites. I know the Colorado thing Jaron just referenced, we had 40 people out there, and that turned into 1,000, but it was casting a vision. We're 40 of us, but we can make this thing get 100 times bigger. And so, the whole idea of find a hole in the fence, bring a busload of people, let them see what you see instead of telling them. Talk a little bit about that, Peggy.
Yeah, so 2 weeks ago, we took our team down. We have a contest we run every month. We have a travel club now we established because a lot of our people love traveling. So in May, we went to Hilton Head. A few weeks ago, we came back from Orlando. And, it's a work trip. For us, it's a work trip. So we were like, hey, we're tired. We don't want to go home yet. We need some R&R, right? So we go over to Palm Beach and stay at the Breakers. And the Breakers that's like on a whole nother level. You don't go to the Breakers unless you can go to the Breakers, right? You don't ask the question about the prices. You just go and you hand them your credit card because that's the kind of place that it is. So we were like, hey, shoot, this would be a great place to bring the team back to. I mean, why not? For the people who are going to go out and do it, I mean, we have the awesome Dina Maleka right now pushing on for her RVP promotion. You know, she's already at 22 recruits for the month. So, hey, if she hits 40 recruits for the month and over 30,000 in premium, that might be a great place for her and Iggy to go. You know, but we want to be able to, just like you've always said, like Jaron said, you find a hole in the fence and you run a bus through it. You bring your people with you. It's not just you. The business is about your people. I mean, this is a people business. You have to have that, I guess, compassion and love for your team. And for us, being able to invest back into the team is an amazing thing. So yeah, we want to go to Palm Beach. We want to roll up on the breakers, and we want them to be terrified that Primerica is in the house, and we're going to make it known that Primerica is in the house too when we get there.
Yeah, and in Orlando, Andy, we took our team to a 10,000 square foot mansion, and man, we had a great time. They had a great time. And of course, it was a competition, so people had to compete for that. Yeah. But hey, out of doing that, starting with Hilton Head, two people, one qualified for RVP because they got excited about seeing that. And again, that's the great Dina and Iggy Maleka. You'll hear about those people, I promise you. But then, you know, out of that, they brought people back with them and recruited Rodney and Nadine recruited a great couple out of South Carolina. In their first month, did over 20 recruits. Their first month, first 30 days into the business, Rosalind and Rockdrell. So, man, we're just excited about taking people, showing them places, showing them how things can be. And man, getting RVPs out of that, man. And hey, they know their sole responsibility when they go to RVP is to produce RVPs. We're driving that message even louder, even more. That's the purpose of the Base Shop, is to produce RVPs.
Absolutely. And so one last thing, we've got about 2 minutes, but in that 2 minutes, you guys just an amazing job tonight. But there was a contest to go to San Francisco, your first when you joined the business, and I think you had less than 30 days to win it. You came in late, and you had less than 30 days. And I said, well, if y'all can figure out and we can do this thing, and I'll help you, but y'all got to do the work, win San Francisco, and then maybe we'll play a little golf. Just touch on that if you don't mind.
That's you.
Oh man, I tell you, how could you ever forget something like that? I was actually, Andy, the other day I was sharing that with somebody who went there and I told them, hey man, not only did I play Pebble Beach, but I played the Monterey Country Club, which was just on a whole nother level. In a place like that, man, you're talking about $250,000 membership fee just to join, and there's a waiting list. I mean, it's just crazy. But yeah, again, just exposing us. Again, that's where we got it from, man. You exposed us to places like that. You took us, and I never forget. And one of the best parts of that trip was being able to meet the incredible Warren and Jada Powers that changed our life. We still talk about them and what they did to this day. Just changed our life, the influence that they had on us in the business from day one. And I thank you for exposing us to places like that and people, great leaders like that in the business.
Right. So while Jaron was out playing golf, I was out shopping with the awesome Mary Hayes. And I will never forget, Mary, you trying to make me buy a $90 pair of shoes for a little 2-year-old. I will never forget that. I mean, she had my child crying for this pair of shoes. But it just showed me, if you're really going to come here and play, you got to learn how to play at a higher level, because there's always another level, right? I was thinking $40 pair of shoes, and then Mary's like, no, she needs a $90 pair of shoes. That's your daughter. I'm like, what in the world? But I mean, it's amazing what you can do in this business. And Andy, we learned that all from you. We learned this is how you build a business. You make it fun. You make people want to compete. And you make them want to win. And when they win, you reward them with amazing things. I mean, that trip to Pebble Beach and all that. And then we ate at the grill, I think, downstairs.
Hog's breath.
Yeah, which was great.
Food. Yeah.
Right, great food. And then, again, me shopping with awesome Jada and Miss Mary Hayes. I mean, it was a great trip. But we want to replicate the same thing with our team. And I believe that's what that play right there, what you created, but we're just following, is what's going to take us to SNSD. And forget SNSD, it's ISNSD, right? To have that, not just the 8 or 10 first, 9, 10 first. It's going to have like 20. You had 29 first, right? So, I mean, that's the goal right now, is to build a hierarchy, having fun while doing it, eating a lot of food and going to great places.
That's right. Well, that's great stuff. And I'm going to leave a smile on your face. Don't forget about those Bananas Fosters and that big old gravy boat full of butter. But we'll leave that. You know, you got to be on these trips. I mean, we can't say some of the things that happen. What happens in Monterey stays in Monterey. But we had like 20 people around that table. Man, it was a feast. Warren Powers, he was just like, oh, my God, I want another piece of this. It was fun. Oh, Sam
it was
Tall,
great.
we
Thank you
had a
so
crew
much,
out
Andy.
there. Yeah, but y'all are so proud of you. Let's run it up to SNSD and ISNSD, and we'll see you in the morning at the planning group. Take care.
SVP.
All right. Love you guys.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure they must already be SVP. I had already decided.
What?
I'm sure it's just minutes away, right, that they will make me correct and accurate.
They kept dancing around SNSD and saying I was getting
Thought they
ready
were
with
gonna
the
do
button. I was
factory
getting ready
thing?
with the button.
Almost. So, let's. We are kind of in the count, right, for the rally. We're kind of waiting on everybody to. We haven't decided the top 2 teams.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we should be doing now.
Are you?
Trish, are you
ready to make that call?
Are you jumping ahead?
No.
Okay.
Does this call for the top 2 teams?
804.
I really wanted some new names.
Uh-oh.
I love the people that are.
Throw them out here. Let's see what we got.
We got Walter Charles with 55.
Walter Charles has 55.
And Wesson Shea Flournoy with 63.
Wesson Shea Flournoy was 63.
So they are the only 2 RVPs that need to have teams reporting in.
Okay. So you're just making the call, just the 2.
Just the 2.
Nobody else.
Flournoy Base Shop.
Yeah.
Walter Charles Base Shop. Y'all are now the top 2. So all the other base shop reporting is closed. No need to send anything in. But if you're in those base shops, you need to send in your solution number and your RVP's last name to that text number right there. We're only going to count 1 vote, or basically one person per phone number. So, you need to make sure everybody's got their own phone. We want to make sure everybody's watching. I don't want somebody just going in and, district leader naming off every solution number that's in their team, whether they're watching or not. So, send in your solution number and make sure we know your RVP's name so that it gets counted for the right one, and we'll see who the real winner is when it all shakes out later.
So you have
And be quick.
only about 15 minutes to do it.
Yeah,
Right?
It's got to be fast.
So you guys got to get about it. Right?
So if you're on that
Walter
team,
and
just go ahead and do it.
Wes and Shay, I'm sure you guys are practiced. You know how the drill works.
They know the drill.
They're going to be awesome.
And in the instance where you are, new or you haven't signed your IBA yet, you can put some X's instead of your solution number. But once again, we're only going to be counting one person per phone number.
Trish is serious about it too. She'll just delete you. I'd like to help you out, but
don't piss her off. Don't piss her
She's
off.
nice
piss
about
her
it. She'll
off.
text you back sometimes and say,
Maybe.
"Hey, this is
Maybe.
I've only counted 1 for that. These others don't count."
or she just hits delete. Sorry. All right. But the part I've been waiting for is coming up next.
Got the secret
of double-digit recruiting. Andy.
All right, secrets of double-digit recruiting. We got the great Ray Rodriguez and Sylvia Robinson on same time or back to back?
Ray and then Sylvia.
Ray, then Sylvia. Ray, then. But see, I got this magic screen here. I can see them both. So they're saying that I know they're there. So anyway, just hang tough. That's right. So Ray Rodriguez, you got 10 recruits already for the month. Are you all right up there? Did you hurt your head or fall off a chair? What's going? What are you all fired up about double-digit recruiting? What's going on, Ray?
Well, thanks again, Andy, for always your leadership and your example. The secret to double-digit recruiting, right? So I guess the two secrets is, number one, the radio station I'm listening to right now, WORK. Actually, was listening to you earlier today. Yeah, the Great Ape from 1991 Fort Worth. And then the other one is my reading list, which basically there's one item on that, and it's called Book Some Appointments. So those are basically the two things we're doing is listening and keeping my mind right, and then on the phone, either running an appointment, Zoom call, or booking an appointment, or looking for one. And that's it. Running through the list, went from A through Z on the phone. Once I got through that, went back to A. Been following up with old recruits. We've got a double-digit leg actually out of that. Somebody that recruited on almost 2 years ago. Was about to purge out, just called up. The timing wasn't right 22 months ago, but all of a sudden the timing's right, and she went out, picked up 5 directs last month. She's already at 10 this month, so we're at 13. this month so far. So yeah, it's exciting. Now's the time. The talent pool is full, and everybody's looking. So just about making the phone calls and finding the people that are looking for us.
Now, Ray, damn it, I've told you over your career, you got to keep it simple. What do you mean just going to WORK and talking to the people? I mean, why are you complicating everything? I'm making that hard. Oh, wait, that's pretty simple, actually. So, crap. Yeah, and like you just said, I want you to talk about this. Times are changing. I mean, people are looking now that might not have been looking, and you're a total dum-dum if you don't go through your phone and just touch talk a little bit about that and what you're finding.
Yeah, so that's it. Just people we've even talked to, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, like you said, Andy, things change. They're changing like that. People that weren't laid off 4, 5, 6 weeks ago. I mean, maybe they're not getting laid off, but they are, they're getting downsized. They're taking a 10, 20% pay cut, and they need that spare tire. They need that. They've realized real quick that being in the employee quadrant is not exciting whatsoever. 44 million plus of people in this country have been laid off, downsized, fired, furloughed over the last, 8 to 10 weeks. And there's some hungry, humble, motivated people out there looking. And again, it's just making the phone calls and touching people. Hey, how's it going? Those small conversations, right? Like Bobby says, little conversations that lead to big conversations. And that's all we're doing is just having those small conversations with people. And they know we're looking and we're expanding. So all of a sudden something changes and now we're getting the phone calls. Hey, you still looking? You still expanding? You're still opening up offices? And not just here in the upstate. I mean, we're crossing state lines, Arkansas, North Carolina, getting ready to add Florida, Texas, and New York to that over the next couple of days. Everything is just exploding. Like Warren Powers said, this is the Zoom boom. What's it going to look like, 12, 24 months from now? What are you going to be talking about that you did during the coronavirus, which, 5, 10 years from now, nobody's even going to remember the name of this virus. But what did you do during these times to explode your business, And now we're able to do this so much faster because there's no car trips. I mean, everything's, there's aspirants in my office chair now because that's where I'm sitting all day, whether it's doing the Zoom calls or phone calls, and that's it all day, every day.
Back in Tucker, Georgia, you were kind of a legend. You were like Tom Cruise in Cocktail. Now, this was when Ray had hair. And he wasn't putting all those highlights in his beard that he's got down there at the bottom. What is that, ash blonde? What? I don't know. Is that from Walgreens? There you go. But man, he was like the Tom Cruise slinging the drinks. A celebrity. Well, that company Friday a week ago just shut down 4 of their famous taverns and fired 150 people to make sure they ain't getting no unemployment. Might want to go back with them. But one guy was a manager, and all of a sudden he's back to being a server. At 45 years old. Talk just a little bit about that as we're wrapping up with you.
Yeah, so actually I did talk to that gentleman that runs about 7 of those stores, so he'll be getting another phone call tomorrow, Torlop Pop. But, it's just like you said, times are changing. People are hurting. They're hungry. They're looking for something. This is an opportunity. A lot of these states doing temp licensing. I know South Carolina got added to that list. We're showing people how to go make money within a matter of a couple of weeks. Racing them to district. Here's what you're going to do. We're going to build you a team over the next 2 weeks while you're waiting on your temp license to get you, $9, $12, $1,500 banked. By the time your temp license hits, you're going to be on a 50% contract, ready to go out there, rock and roll, and you're going to have a team, referrals coming your way, and a support system. And that's just the play we're running, keeping it simple, racing people to district, and then showing them how to go promote districts so they can get to their next promotion. We'll promote, 4 or 5 districts this month. We got 2 division promotions coming out and a regional leader promotion, potentially 2 regional leader promotions. I can smell it and see senior vice president by the end of this year, where, at the first couple months of this year, we were floundering, trying to figure some things out. COVID-19 hits March 15th, took us about 4 or 5 weeks to get some traction. But now the momentum's going and rolling, and, I see 50 recruits by the end of this month, June, which will lead us to over 100 in July. And if you'd have told me I was going to be doing that at the beginning of this year, I didn't see it, I didn't smell it. And just the whole mindset, it's the longest journey you take every day is the 6 inches between your 2 ears. So making sure that's protected, keeping the right people in your ear all day, every day, like you, Andy, listening to that leadership and following the play and keeping it simple. And what I heard the other day, I need more people, stupid. I don't need more stupid people. So it's just going out and finding them, right?
Very well said. Just proud of you. Always just enjoyed you over the years. You're a great Primerica, and it's great to see you making your move now to the top. And we've had a lot of fun in a lot of great places. We're going to have a lot more fun, Ray. Love you, buddy. Tell Shannon we said hello. Thanks for coming on tonight.
I will. Love you too, man. Thanks.
All right. I think next we got Miss Sylvia, right? Yes. Right there's Sylvia. Well, where's your beard, Sylvia? Oh, you got to unmute yourself, Sylvia.
I did. Can you hear me now?
There you go. I'm a ripping lip reader, but I mean, hey. All right, great to have you. And you came out of the gate. You've had, 30 recruits a couple months ago and got stuff moving. And now you got the RVP and RVP, so we got to fix that with SVP on the wall behind you there. But
yeah, that's right.
What's got you fired up and moving right now, Sylvia?
Man, it was just time to go to work. Just time to go to work. And so talking to lots and lots of people. So what we're focusing on is 3 who get through, who get 3. And what I found really is when I started talking to new recruits and we start talking double-digit recruiting right out of the gate, they'd get a little intimidated because they think they'd have to get 10 themselves. And so we just broke it down. 3 who get 3, who get 3. That makes you a double-digit team. And so that's really our focus is 3 who get 3, who get 3. Of course, you need 3 to go to district. Districts are the building blocks of the business. So that's our total focus, putting out district leaders.
And that's what Ray just said. So you're taking a page out of that book, which is all of our books. I mean,
yeah.
Would you rather get paid at 50 or 25? And it's like the whole McDonald's thing. I mean, you work at McDonald's. So Friday you're at $10 an hour. And we say, hey, if you go to this 3-day course, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, when you start on Monday or Tuesday, you're going to be not making $10, you can make $20 an hour. Does that sound good to you? That's pretty much district. And when you explain it that way, and the 3 who get 3, who get 3, and embracing that concept, just touch base on that real quick when you're talking to people.
Yeah, it's the 3 who get 3, who get 3, and it's the whole thing. I do the McDonald's as well, but I also take it from their own personal job, which is if your job told you that you could go from $15 an hour and you had to do these 9 things, and then you could go to $30 an hour, how fast would you do it? Well, that pretty much gets them right away when they say, oh, I do it as fast as I can. Well, okay, then this is what you have to do it. And the other thing with the field training bonus, when they go to district, they get $1,000, right? They get the $900 3 times, right? 3 for 3,000, they get the $900. They get $50 for downloading the app, and then I'll kick in 50 per Ceviche Crenshaw gave me that. So go to district, get $1,000 when you get your license. So that's what we do for that as well. But everybody wants to double their pay. Everybody wants to go from $15 an hour to $30 an hour and go as fast as they possibly can. So we're there to do that. We have the meetings 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and then every evening we have them. So we have a very strong support system as well, so that they can constantly get people in front of us. And then the other thing is, Andy, we really embrace a recruit is not a recruit till they have a recruit. So we just keep getting a recruit. We've gone 6 deep within a month, the past 2 months in a row. So that's what we're embracing as well.
All right, that's great. And then one last thing, you've traveled all over the place. What's your favorite Primerica experience so far? Because we've got many more coming. But I don't know if it was, an Art Williams, a trip we did, or something we did local. What stands out in your mind?
I'd have to say the Fontainebleau, Miami. That was a ball because we won the nightclub. We were on the floor with the bottle service. That was great. You have to go to a Primerica trip. As they've always said, that that's part of your compensation. And I always tell everybody, don't leave any money that Primerica is going to pay you on the table. Go get it. And so that Fontainebleau was my favorite trip.
That's great. And you say you're on the floor. You mean you're on the dance floor, not the floor, right?
Dancing on the floor.
There you go. Right. All right. So proud of you. We'll see you at the planning group tomorrow. You keep rocking. All right.
Okay.
Love you. Take care.
Okay. Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, there we go. You guys ready?
We're ready.
1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila, floor.
Floor. Boom. Don't tease me like that.
We're ready. That was it, right?
Yep.
What was the answer for double-digit recruiting for 2 sources?
Yeah. Keep it simple. Work.
Work.
Districts.
I'm like, work. First.
Yep.
Right? All right. We are closing in on the count, Trish.
Okay.
How you doing?
Great.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. Let's call
All right.
it done.
Here we go.
Tell
Trish
us-
said to call it,
drum
so.
roll.
Well, hold on.
All right.
I
Wait
got
a minute. He's got a drum
Drum
I
roll.
think it's this button.
Second place.
Second place.
West Florinord.
Really?
No.
Weston Shea, Florinord with 42.
Oh no! Oh, Mr. Bill! Oh no!
And then Walter Charles had 51 report
Walter
in.
Charles at 51, the big winner.
Yeah.
51 out of 55.
That
That's
is
pretty
very,
close.
Yeah.
Very close.
Knows his numbers.
Yes.
Well done. How exciting. Walter, I will be sending-
What was the number for Flora again?
42.
42.
Oh. Oh.
42.
Away.
They had him ticking in too.
All right. So, to continue to expand Walter's cup collection,
That's right.
that'll be number 3,
Yep.
right?
He's putting together a streak now.
He is. He's got a streak rolling. And Walter, I'll be sending you shortly a Zoom invite for Andy at the end of the show for 10 minutes. Make sure you get everybody on ASAP, all 51 of them. Looking for all 51 people on the Zoom, please. Saturday was amazing.
Yeah.
Saturday was phenomenal. We rolled open the garage doors we have here, and we had tents outside, people.
Yep.
I was
A
almost
live audience.
brought to tears the first time they did the SNSD factory cheer, followed by some applause. We had so much fun and laughter. Gosh, I hope y'all were here with us.
Yeah.
Because it was phenomenal.
Absolutely.
So, but we're rolling on to next Tuesday.
Yep.
Right?
Will you re-announce the
Pre-announce
winner?
what?
The winner
Oh.
is of the
Audio?
rally.
Audio. We had Weston Shea with 42,
Weston Shea with 42, second place.
second place, and then Walter Charles had 51.
Walt Charles with 51 was the
Now
winner.
say your link thing.
So was our whole segment silent?
We were getting some
Yeah.
mics off this.
We're
Okay,
good.
okay. Just a
We
little
appreciate
quiet,
y'all
maybe.
hanging with us this week. Kind of had a couple little bumps in the road.
Yep.
I had a bad day.
I'd like to
Yeah,
shout out to
Oh,
my
no such thing.
to
No such thing.
to Matt behind the camera who runs every piece of equipment there is in here, and there's a bunch of it, and he does it all
Single-handedly
by
on Tuesday
himself,
nights.
and he is awesome.
Yep.
It's
And he said he was going to quit
Ah!
during this show.
no
And
quitting.
Andy almost had a heart attack.
No quitting. There's no quitting.
There's no quitting.
No crying in baseball and no quitting.
There's no crying in baseball.
All right, you guys. Thanks for hanging with us today. Incredible speakers. Gurpreet, I love when
yeah.
she's here. Love hearing from our folks who are on their way up. Want to hear from you all. Send us. You guys got great stories? Share them with us at tickets@nightglass.com. We would love to read them all. Tell us about your story, how you're doing, where you're getting to, how one day maybe you woke up and that was your day to decide, right?
Yep.
We'd love to hear from you. Tickets@nightglass.com, where you can always find Trish and I and answer pretty much any question you have.
Yep.
Most of them anyways. So we love you, but we have Mr. Young himself to finish out, close it, bring us all to our feet. Yeah.
From that being on the floor. I don't know, the
I
dance
don't
floor,
know,
on the floor, whatever. And just a note about, the studio. Listen, darling Matt, if you were around here, and some of you were here Saturday, you'll see them over there whispering each other's ears, cuddling. They got like just cutest little relationship. And Matt's got this thing he carries around, and it's a mute button, and he hits Darla with it all the time, which is why they get along so well. Been married so long, and they just cuddle and stuff. because he hit the mute button and muted all of us. You know, it was just supposed to be her.
He did.
And then later on, it went back to just her. So we're straight. We got it back to where it used to be with Darla on
that's
mute.
funny.
But yeah, that's,
I
there
love
you
you
go.
too.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I made it up. But anyway, we have some fun in here. You need to have some fun. And bottom line on my close to you tonight is there's a lot of people talking about, well, I'm going to downsize my office. I'm going to run everything out of my house. I'm going to do, you know, we're going to put these Super Saturdays and events together. We just piece them together. Well, good luck. I'm telling you, in the real world, I'm talking about A.L. Williams, Primerica. See, the moving sidewalk was something that happened to all of us. And how we work through that, that's unbelievable. What happened with Primerica and so many people out there, and I hope it happened for you. It's been, you know, biggest 3 months in my career in 40 years. So if that didn't happen for you, well, you better get moving right now, because now we're going through another shift, and this one's going to be a little bit more subtle. It's opening state by state, and it's a thing that's going to happen. And we're going to be back at some point very quickly with the kneecap. You heard Capri talking about it, and they're in New York, one of the worst places hit. Still doing the kneecap, got the face mask, but we're moving to another place. And I guarantee you the way we built the business originally is going to be the foundation. Now, having a great studio, and I was bragging about it a little bit here. I mean, like, Art, well, you ain't got no night class. We got night class. You know, we might have a mistake here or there, whatever, and I might miss the script and it's my turn or their turn or whoever's turn, whatever. But we got a kick butt deal going on here. We're going to continue that, continue the Tuesday trainings. We're going to use this as we go back to the Super Saturdays, when we go back to the 3-day meeting. Yes, the 3-day meetings. I know a lot of you sucking your thumbs in your house thinking, oh, we're going to build. Yeah, that's easy to do when everybody's ass was at home for 3 months. But they ain't going to be staying home. If you noticed around, I don't care where you've been. I've traveled a little bit. There's people all out in the roads. They're talking about being out on the highways. You're talking about being in restaurants. Hey, they probably don't even want to go stay home at this point. So I'm telling you, in your brain, yes, run what we've been running, but there's going to be a little Zoom fatigue coming on too. And I'm talking about not just Primerica, the world. So get your crap together between your ears. We got our plan here. We'll be announcing a great event coming up here in the next few weeks. We're going to keep this thing moving. We're going to get it on the road. We had great people here for our celebrities. Jamal, Jamal and Candace Richmond, they're one that should have been here. We talked about it. They'll be here, part of the celebrities, and you'll be able on the next one to qualify. We'll make those announcements, how to qualify to be here live in person and have some of the fellowship and fun. We had a 2-day thing here. You saw some pictures. Peggy brought the jet in. I'm just telling you, where we're moving is even bigger than where we've been, and where we've been is pretty dadgum good. But get your little binders off your head. You lead the charge. You be the loudest voice in the room, and it is go time at Primerica. Let's finish strong. We'll see you next Tuesday.